Hello, can you guys hear me? I know you don't see me. Okay, so the mic's working. Good deal. All right, guys, and we're gonna try this one more time. Let me. I'll be right back, guys. Okay. All right, I'm back. So now, if I mute the mic, you won't be able to hear me. Yes? No? Yeah, I changed the Wi-Fi, so the video should be better this time. So I've got a couple of Wi-Fi connections. I'm out in the shop, so I've got a Wi-Fi connection here, and then one in the house. And for some reason, it likes to connect to the house Wi-Fi first, so I have to change it. Anyway, I'm gonna try a couple of things. If some of you guys are on Instagram, I want to try this Instagram thing now. Dave, I'm not sure why you're buffering. I've got the stream on my end says the health is green and good. Oh no, I know. I left the mic on because I wanted to be able to talk while that screen was up. I want to make sure I'm capturing everything, and so now I am recording. I want to try to. I've got a new recorder software that I'm using. This is something that I was working out with somebody else, and I think we've got everything going now. I got the delay down to about 5 to 6 seconds, I think, which I'm okay with. That leaves me a little bit of room. So, yeah. All right. I'm going to see if I can get over to Instagram. One of you guys that are on Instagram, I'm fixing to go live over there. I want to just test that right off the bat. So let me make sure I've got this to where you guys can see it. I'll just do this live on air. And if this doesn't work, then I'm not going to worry about doing this. But I got a pretty good feeling that I've got it figured out. Okay. All right, so that should be the Instagram screen. All right, make sure I'm on Twitch. Yep, live on Twitch, YouTube. Cool. What's up, Danny in South Carolina? I see you, man. Thanks for joining. So better than 20 seconds. Huh. Well, on my end, once I say, like, let me just switch screens. So I'm switching to the start screen now. So about 8 to 10 seconds. So that's not too bad. Now you ought to be able to see the Instagram screen on YouTube or Twitch. So while I'm live streaming to YouTube and Twitch, you'll see this screen, the same screen. So it's simultaneously streaming to both platforms. All right. So now I'm going to go to my Instagram. And we're going to go live. So you guys can see that on the wherever you're watching. You're using the same software to stream in multiple places. Yeah, well, I'm using OBS to capture everything, and then I'm using Restream.io to test or to stream to YouTube and Twitch simultaneously, and that's what it's for. So, the video may not be great on the Instagram live stream, but we're going to find out if it's going to work or not. So we'll see. All right, go ahead and go live on Instagram. Oh, I didn't check my. All right, so live on Instagram. Some of you guys that are watching over here, what's up, Gary? I guess you can request to join me in the live stream. Just request it. I don't know how you request it, but when you go live, something you can do. Watch. I think I can choose anybody, or I think you guys can request to go live with me. And all I want to do is just see if I can talk to you and see if you guys can hear both parties. All right, so Gary requested. I'll add Gary. What's up, Gary?
Hey, Sean.
All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Gary? I guess not, huh? You've got your YouTube
I don't know if you
muted.
can hear me.
No, I can't. You can't hear me. That's the problem.
I can hear you now.
Okay, you can.
Yep.
Okay, through Instagram.
Yep. I kind of muted. I was trying Twitch.
Okay.
I like it as well as YouTube, just because I can't see the chats. Every time I try to chat, it covers you up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, but you can hear me. I can hear you. Can you guys over on YouTube and Twitch hear both of our conversations? Let's see what these guys say.
Well, I can say 1, 2, 3. I don't know if they can hear me. There's a delay for sure. I'm watching Twitch here.
Yeah.
And you can see that there's a delay. So.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna have a little bit of a delay, I'm sure. Okay, so Marshall Harrison says yes, he can hear both of us talking. And the only reason I want to do this, and I'm just talking to everyone here, is to be able to bring somebody into the live stream and bring somebody into the podcast. Maybe so Gary, if you're working on a project, maybe you can share it with us and, show us like what's going on in your shop or, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
okay,
I know
so
Brad's done that a couple of times when he does his Sunday things, but he's just on one platform. This is challenging.
Yeah, well, I've got it now. I think it's working. And actually, I'm using another software program. It sounds complicated, but really, all it was the other night, all I had to do was just plug in my earbud into my laptop. That's all I had to do.
Yeah, I'm not hearing the feedback like I did that first night.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay, so it sounds good to you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, Gary, I appreciate it, man.
Okay, here to help.
All right, see ya.
I'm gonna watch the Warriors beat Houston. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Gary. I appreciate you, man.
Right.
See ya.
Okay, see ya.
Right.
Bye.
All right, cool. That worked. All right, so now I'm gonna stop this. All right, sorry, Instagram. We're testing some more live stream stuff. So we'll catch you next time. Later. All right. So yeah, that worked. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with the big delay, which I'm okay with that. I mean, a lot of people that are on here I know how to switch my. I don't know. What do you mean by switch screens? And Brinkley's telling me I can still tweak the delay, and I may still do that. So that may be something else that I want to look at doing. But the main thing is the Instagram worked, and so that was cool. Now, you know, if I do Q&A, I can also access Twitter for questions, and so you guys can see this. Of course, I would have all this ready to go. This is not a big deal. It's just a matter of resizing this. But part of the format in the podcast is going to be some Q&A. I'm going to be talking about projects. I saw somebody just a few minutes ago talking about they like the old format better when I talked about projects. I'm still going to do that. I'm going to talk about projects that I have worked on, projects that I got coming up. But one thing that I want to work into that, and which is one of the reasons for doing this, is to have a project video screen up to where I can kind of pause the video that I did on that project and talk about some of the things that I had trouble with and how I, fixed my problems or whatever. So I want to do that on the live stream as well, and that'll be part of the podcast too. Just talking about the projects and how I did some things. So, and this is live Twitter right here. So that's kind of cool. So we can take Q&A there. So when I do the Q&A, there's a few ways that I want to do this. You can tweet, call in, use the chat, and then the chat here is what I like. So I can see all of your guys' comments, whether it be from Twitch or YouTube. Now, one guy, Too Small Angry Org, I think, who on Twitch, he says there's no delay on Twitch, so that's good news. And then Dimension says there's I guess a big delay there. So anyway, we'll work all that out. When each person logged in and speaks, it can toggle the screen to that person. That's just Google Hangout. Google Hangout, when you're in a Google Hangout and say there's 5 people in a Hangout together, or even Skype, when you're the one talking, it cues your screen. So it would do that automatically. That's just built into Google Hangout or Skype. But with Instagram Live, both of us are on the screen together. I was having trouble with the ones that weren't here last time. I was having trouble with the audio. But now that I got that fixed, that's going to work. And so that's pretty cool. All that is, I mean, it's just I was talking to Jay yesterday and doing a little bit of testing. I was like, I'm just a kid. I want to try to do this because I can. But really, honestly, it's a cool way to bring somebody into the podcast, bring somebody into the live stream, and we're on YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram all at the same time. Plus, that person will be part of the podcast that's on iTunes, SoundCloud, all of that stuff. So, which is kind of cool. I'm really after the audience engagement. So I really like the questions, the engagement, seeing, like, if Gary was out in his shop, he could show us what he was working on. We could ask him questions through the chat or, whatever. So I'm looking forward to it. It seems like a lot's going on, and it kind of is, but I've got it now. And for anybody that's interested, I'd be glad to help them out. But there are a few things that are key players, which is OBS, which is capturing everything. How I built these screens, these different scenes. If I can go from here to here. All that is built within OBS. That's just an open broadcast system. It's free to download for anybody. And then there's like this live chat feed you guys are watching. That's by, I think, what is that? Restream. That's Restream chat right there. So you can integrate several different platforms. You can do more than YouTube and Twitch. That's the only two I put in there. So, and then of course, if you're doing a podcast on top of that, you need to be able to record, because if you're on a Mac, Windows is totally different. But if you're on a Mac, you can't record the system audio just internally. So it'll pick up through the mic, and that's the trouble that I was having. So now I've got this other software over here that is recording everything. So it's kind of cool. So I'm excited. So now that I've got everything going, I'm going to try to go live and going forward with the podcast starting next week. That should give me enough time to, to get all my flow down, because I want to talk about several different things. I want to talk about the projects in the past, going forward, future projects. I want to talk to you guys through the chat. I want to do Q&A, whether that be through, all of these things. So a lot of cool things. I want to do some shout outs to different people, like on Instagram, YouTube, try to spread their, just what they've got going on, their channels or their Instagram handle. There's a few local folks around here that I would love to just bring into here, to where, we've got me sitting here and then somebody else sitting here, to where we can do a podcast that way, and maybe do some interviews. I just want to do a really good show, but also be very interactive with you guys, because, so Brinkley saying all these posts are distracting. No, I mean, it's just a chat. I mean, I can change this if you guys don't like it. I kind of like the chat. So Gary says he finds the interface easier to navigate for commenting on the YouTube platform. Tried Twitch on my phone. It was a bit more cumbersome. Okay. So, I mean, I guess it's just personal preference. If you like YouTube, then, go to YouTube, do that. If you're on Twitch, do that. It's not really, one or the other. It's just personal preference. Let's see. Was there anybody else that had a question? Let's see. I like seeing the chat. So Gary likes seeing the chat. Dylan's woodwork, see, he's looking forward to it. Seems to work great on my Mac. Okay, cool. Only being funny, Brinkley says. Doing a great job. Okay, thanks. I'm sure there'll be some hiccups along the way, but I really appreciate you guys helping me figure all this out and being patient and telling me, yeah, that works. I don't like this. Or, yes, I like that. So that's kind of cool. So, all right. I think that's really all I had to test. If you guys have some questions or comments about, what you would like to see for the live stream or the podcast, I'd love to hear about it here. So if you've got any suggestions, or if you have been listening to my podcast previously, before I took a little break to do all of this, I'd love to hear what you liked and what you didn't like about that. Kevin says he loves the interface. So Dylan's Woodworks is nice thing about it is you can do either. He likes the chat. Okay. So a lot of people like the chat. I like it as well. And I want to go to see if I can do the project video, and show you guys what I was talking about there. So when I'm talking about the projects, and of course all of this will have to be queued up beforehand, which I'm okay with. Gary says, I think it would be great to see some of the community interact with you and see their shops, etc. Okay. Yeah, I would too. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'm going to pull up a video and kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about.
How to get this yard?
Behind Pete's great-looking yard is his secret weapon.
Okay, that was a little bit of audio that you were hearing there. I'm going to play it in just a second.
Turf builder.
Alright, so let me pull up the project video screen. And resize this. I got to figure out how to get this to stay, but no biggie. All right, so if we're talking about a video now, one of the last videos that I did
in my house, and I want to replace.
I'm gonna turn this down. That's one thing I need to do, so you don't hear it. Okay, so the mantle video that I did, you know, I had a slab and I cut it down the middle. And one problem that I had with this is when I went to use my Sawzall, my blade kept coming out. And if you guys watch the video, you know what I'm talking about. But I got to a certain point where I couldn't cut any more with the skill saw. So I got the Sawzall out and the blade kept coming out. I don't know why, but I think I turned the blade around. You should be able to put it in the Sawzall either way, but I turned it around and it didn't come out again. It looks like I didn't, but I had the saw a different way. So another part of this video that I did not get recorded is when I put the bolts in the brick. I'm going to pause it here, right here. So you can see 5 bricks there. Let me pause just a second and make sure you guys can see that. That would be cool to do a commentary on yours and other videos or ask questions about certain parts of the video. Yeah. Alright, well, what's up, Sean? Yeah, I'm enjoying this, man. Let's see. I think Realism91, I think the chat is, I don't know if that's just an Android thing or what, but it's not doing that for me. Yeah, so anyway. All right, so on this project, and I'm not sure why the screen's jumping, but you'll see 5 bolts. Now I've got, when I drilled the holes into the brick, this last one on the right was kind of at an angle, and I could not, when I drilled the hole into the slab and I went to put the slab up, I could not get it all the way on. So for whatever reason, I stopped the recording, and then as you can see right here, I'll stop at the video. So when I go to put it on here in just a second, the slab will slide on just a little bit right here, and then you'll see it cut. I'm going to show you the screen. Watch closely. You'll see as I start to push the mantle up, the video is going to cut right there. It cut to where I started pushing the mantle all the way on the wall. And what I did is just, I got the Sawzall out and cut that last bolt on the right hand side completely off, and the thing went on perfect. And the only reason is because the other 4 were straight, the last bolt was at an angle, and it wouldn't work. So I cut it out. I wish I had video of that. I would have left it in. I just didn't get it in the recording. So anyway, this thing turned out pretty good, and I was happy with the way it turned out. So that's something like, you know, what I can do with the projects. You know, we can do my projects, or we can talk about, you know, one of your guys' projects if you want some critique, or, you know, if you're just starting out, or, you know, whatever. I'm game for, you know, several different things. So let me look at the chat and see what you guys are saying. It says worth the effort, guys. Here, Sean, yeah, he is in the house. Dylan's asking, am I sharing my phone on OBS too? Okay, so that's a little bit of the puzzle. I'm using QuickTime Player, and really it's just a matter of plugging the phone up to a cable and just starting a movie recording without recording, and then you can just drag your screen capture to wherever you want. Wigwag says, great stream, thanks, man. Hash on test 1 2 coming in loud and clear. Greetings to all viewing from a fellow woodworker in Indianapolis. What is up, Mark? All right, so what do you think about the project part of it? Like, if we were to talk about different projects and that kind of thing, you know, my projects or somebody else's, or if somebody did a really cool project, we could talk about other people's, you know, projects. Like, say for instance, Cammy's Garage or Kyle Toth that do some of these guys that do some of these crazy wood art or turnings and that kind of thing. You know, we could pull it up in the project scene and just, you know, talk about it and see what we like about it and that kind of thing. Awesome stream quality. Appreciate that. As a newbie, I love the idea of asking questions about things like tools and wood choice. BD Kane 721. Okay, so that's good feedback. That was part of what I wanted to do, so that's good news. So yeah, if anybody doesn't have, if there's no other questions or you don't want to get anything too specific tonight, I really just wanted to test that Instagram, the project scene, and that's about it. Okay. Yep. Dylan says he likes that. All right, guys, I'm not going to hold you up too long. Just about 30 minutes is all I wanted to try this. So I really appreciate you guys, you know, joining and helping and giving me feedback and willing to, you know, reach out and help me with several things. I just hope that you know, I want to provide a quality show that you guys enjoy. So I am not the one, or I'm not one to be negative toward criticism. I love constructive criticism. So anytime you guys ever see anything that that doesn't interest you, you know, as a majority, you know, I'll pull that stuff out. If there's some things that you guys want to see, as a majority, I'll definitely look into trying to do that kind of thing. So Sean with Worth the Effort says you might want to look at setting the W white balance and leaving it even it off. It's shifting your hand back and forth. Yeah, that's one thing that I want to do eventually, and I've just got a cheap, I mean really cheap light set up here. I've got one light and it's just glaring right at my face, so I know it's really bright. So that's one thing I do want to improve, but you know, as of right now, I'm just gonna go with what I got, and then we'll make changes along the way. So yeah, I appreciate that. Left questions in the YouTube video for part 3 of the assembly table, Marshall Harrison. I saw that, Marshall. I'm going to answer you right now. And I had it on my phone. I marked it, and I said I got to answer him. And what I was going to do is go back and look to make sure I knew. But I believe 5 to 6 sheets of plywood for the outfeed table is what it takes. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you sooner. Yeah. I think it was 5.5 sheets actually. So not too bad considering the amount of storage that you get in this outfeed assembly table. It is a beast. I mean, it's very, very heavy, a ton of storage. It's the best thing that I have built for my shop by far since I've been in my shop or been doing woodworking. I love the table. So yeah. So you guys are having some suggestions. I thought I was going to go, but I want to read these. So go with what you got. Just lock it down. I hear you. Looking forward to it, Sean. Pretty cool. Love the video insert idea. Have a good one. Make sure you have good backups of your computer. I do. Actually, double backup. So I've got Time Machine on my MacBook, and then that particular backup goes to an external hard drive on the network. So. Yeah, Marshall, again, man, I'm sorry. I meant to answer you. I think it was this morning or last night that I was going to do it. I totally dropped the ball. I was going to do that. So what's the dimensions of the table? Mine is about 48 inches wide and 54 inches deep as far as the outfeed goes, or wide. No, it's 4 feet outfeed, 54 wide. But you can adjust that, but you'd have to adjust everything. So it's about average. I mean, it would fit the majority of the table saws. Anyway. All right. That is all for real this time. I promise you. All right. Thanks, guys. I will blast it out on social media. If you're not on my newsletter, go to the website, sign up for my newsletter either in the sidebar or at the very top. You'll see newsletter, or you can go to stoneandsons.net/audio, and at the bottom of that page is a sign up form to let me know that you're interested in the podcast, and that's where I will email out when the first episode is, you know what to expect from the show. So oh yeah, Marshall, the height is about 34 and a half, 34 inches, something like that. And you've got a little bit of room. I remember that question. You got a little bit of room in the legs to where you could just do away with the whole bottom shelf and just raise it up to the bottom of the cubbies, and you probably have several inches to play with there if you wanted to shorten the height on that table. So yeah. Okay. Yep. If you have any more questions, reach out to me on my website. So anyway, thanks guys, and we'll see you when we go live next time. Hey, before you go, make sure to subscribe to the podcast anywhere podcasts are played by searching for Stone and Sons. Also, to get notifications when I go live, follow me on Twitch and subscribe to me on YouTube. You can find all of the links below or in the description, including the show notes from today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.